Hello, my name is Quentin Cooper. Some may know me as Irate, but you are now listening to the introduction to my very own podcast, The Struggles of a Local Artist. With this podcast, we would discuss topics on how to overcome obstacles in the industry and some things that you might face as a local artist, interviews, and much more. So stay updated by subscribing to my YouTube channel, Irate Music. Tune in every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thank you. Looking forward to see you there. Brow! Welcome back to the Struggles of a Local Artist. I am your host, Quentin Cooper. Some may know me as Irate Music. But anyways, I want to first start it off by saying shout out to my co-host, Adrian. I really appreciate you doing last episode. And we're going to try to continually do that. Like he does an episode, I do an episode here, so on and so on. So it gives us time to, gives us a week ahead of time to brainstorm or come up with ideas and topics to talk on this podcast. And same old, we're going to start it off with a Bible scripture. And the Bible scripture that I have found, it's really deep. It says, keep your lives free from love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. Hebrews, I can't even talk right now. I just got out of work. Hebrews 13:5. So, from what I got out of that Bible scripture is that, you don't want to. I mean, the Bible already speaks that money is root of evil, for one. But for what I got from the scripture is that, you want to basically not take things for granted. Be happy for what you have. Some people have less than what you have. So just be thankful. You know what I'm saying? You're alive. Some people don't lie, or some people don't. They're not even alive today. Some people are dying today. So you got to be happy for what you have and the person you are today. Also, too, you can't take things for granted. Today, November. What is it? November. I don't even know the date, man. I just got out of work, but I'm all over the place. November 19th. So I know I said I was gonna record the podcast a week in advance, but I just been so busy with like different things around the house, whatever the case may be. But so today is November 19th, and a kid passed away at Edison. It's one of our local high schools. He was 10th grader. He had died playing basketball in gym. So you can't take things for granted. I guess they said he dropped dead. So so it's scary, man. You just gotta keep prayed up and keep God on your side and just have positive energy and give positive energy out. Keep don't try to, when people have enemies, they always try to, if you have an enemy, you should love your enemy. In other words, you know what I'm saying? If you have somebody that, you're spiteful against, or, you're not like that person, you should honestly try to, pray for that person and do what's right, do what Jesus would do. But anyways, I need to get me, not a pop filter. I need to get one of those too, but I have one of the ones that goes over the mic, but I still think I need an extra one, you know what I'm saying? But also, I need to get one of them freaking shock mounts, man. It's like impossible to find one for a dynamic mic. I have to use one of them shotgun mic shock mounts. Yeah. Because every time I talk, I hear because I have a boom stand, boom stand, desk stand, or whatever they call it, off Amazon for $20. But anyways, every time I talk or hit the desk, I can hear it traveling through the mic, and it's just annoying. Anyways, I know I'm just saying anything right now. I'm just so tired. But anyways, today, fun fact. Shout out to Adrian, how he did it. I really appreciate him switching up things, because I want him to do the podcast the way he wants to do it. I'm not trying to make any regulations. I don't want him to do something that he don't want to be doing. You know what I'm saying? If he's not religious, I don't want him to. So it was kind of cool how he did what he did on last episodes. But so today's fun fact is I got this one from my boss today. So she had told me that there's a study that shows people who quit their job, let me take that. Let me rephrase that. People who walk out on their job, literally just don't even say a word and just quit and, skedaddle, they tend to be more happier than people who put their 2 weeks in, and that, I could see why the person would be happy, but normally a person that, and we discussed this, some of the people at work, we discussed that normally people who are, who can do that are pretty much don't have any responsibilities, So I have car note, I have rent, I have this bill, that bill, this bill, that bill. So it's like, people who do that tend to not have much responsibility. And if they do, they probably have something lined up on, like a job or something. You know what I'm saying? So, but honestly, that's that's one of my life goals, to just walk out on a job. So, Kathy, I might have to, no, let me stop. But yeah, that's one of my life goals, to just walk out like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't need this job. Like, but yeah, so that was today's fun fact. So today I'm just gonna pretty much, this is episode 6, so I'm gonna discuss like kind of things like basically what the future holds for this podcast, and if I'm gonna continually pursue this podcast, because given the fact that I'm not getting much likes nor shares or whatever. I'm not saying that I made this podcast to, get clout or whatever, but it is nice to just get people, interacting and engaging with the podcast. But I really do appreciate the ones who do, the few of you who do like and share and comment and check out this podcast. It means a lot to me. So but yeah, so today we're just gonna talk about future things for this podcast, and just get into a few things, get on topic of the actual podcast, so we got to keep it topic, or is that even keep it topic. Now we're gonna keep it on topic, I guess. I don't know. I'm just saying anything. Anyways, I got a little few things jotted down. So I'm just going to start from basically talk about a few things that I had overcame with, different things that affected my music, and talk about that. And then also talk about, I'm kind of repeating myself, but just talk about things that, what this podcast holds up for us in the future time. Okay, so I'm going to talk about when I was abusing alcohol. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't even know that, because a lot of people know that I'm kind of somewhat religious. I wouldn't even say religious, but I'm just trying to get my life right with God. And I guess religion is, has connections with that. Anyways, so yeah, I used to abuse alcohol. I used to drink obsessively, morning, day, evening, night. I was just really, I consider myself an alcoholic. I have family members who struggle from it. God bless their heart. I had overcame that from the grace of God, and I thank God every day, that He kind of, got me out of that position. I was going through a really bad breakup, and I was just abusing alcohol. I was going to the bar every other Saturday, Friday night, wasting money on alcohol, just drinking obsessively. And it made me come to realize, like, yo, man, like, this ain't me. Mind you, I don't even drink as much as I do, or used to. I barely even drink. And, like I said, I'm getting right with God. I'm not really He's still working with me, working on me. Yeah, so I used to abuse alcohol. And I was really depressed, and it kind of affected my music, because it was like, if I was making music, it was very dark. And during that time that I was going through that phase, or whatever the case may, the depression phase or whatever it was, I wasn't really making music at that. But when I was, it was very dark. Like, I think my last EP I dropped during that time was called Born to Die. So that's kind of super dark, Born to Die. And so I was just trying to basically kind of not fix the problem. I was just using alcohol as a way to pretty much it just gave me comfort. And I feel like if anyone's out there listening to this podcast, if there's anyone that you should definitely try to help them. I didn't really get much help. I've had friends that were like, oh, you good? That was it. But it wasn't really like, they sat down with me and talked about what I was going through. But so, so it's always good. And I took a class in college, Drug and Society, so that kind of gave me, helped me come to realization of my problem. So, like I said, if you know anyone that's going through that, you definitely should help them, and don't be afraid, so, and if you are that person, definitely try to seek help. So like I was saying, but I don't know what it is, but this desk is in my chest, so it's like I'm hovering over the desk, and it's like in my chest, and I can't breathe. So I think I might have to I hope you guys can hear me. But anyway, I'm going to just lean back a little bit, get not too close. Maybe turn the gain up. You might hear my heat in the background, because it is November, and it's but we already had a snowstorm, so so the heat's definitely on. So you might hear that, sorry for the room noise. But yeah, so if you're going through any of that, definitely get help, like I was saying. But how it affected my music, it definitely it put me in a dark stage where it was to the fact I couldn't even, even make music at a point, and not even that. And when I did make music, it was so dark. Like Born and Die, like that was my last EP I dropped after or during the time I was going through that, and it was very dark. So it affected my music a lot because it was like I was making music I didn't really want to make, and I was like everything I would upload was kind of depressing, and so I'm so happy and thankful, and I'm just so happy that I'm out of that stage and out of that predicament, because I don't even know. I probably would have been hospitalized, man. I was drinking to the point where I was just throwing up everywhere. Literally, like I couldn't even move. Like my mom had to help me into the house at sometimes. So, and I shouldn't say this, but I was. No, I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to lose my job. Anyways, it was just how about this? It was to the point where it was affecting my work. Let's just say that. Let's take a little brief pause moment so you guys can understand that. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So it affected my work, and I just wasn't myself. I wasn't irate, man. I don't even know who I was. And it's crazy because my mother said that my father never drank. My mother doesn't drink, so it was like, where did I get this from? But I do have cousins that are alcoholics. And, bless their heart, man. I really hope they get help, because we try getting them help and they just don't want it. So, but, yeah, it definitely affected me financially, and it affected me through my music. And it was just like, man, I just don't ever want to go through that again. I want to make great music, and I want to make music that makes me happy. So, and like I said, earlier in the podcast, like not in this episode, but earlier in the other podcasts, I also said that, I don't know, I might have thought I said this, but, everything around you affects your music. You're a product of your environment. Whatever you absorb is kind of what you give out. So, we're like sponges, Our brains are like sponges too when we're babies. I'm saying anything right now, but anyways, yeah, like we're like sponges, man. Like, what you absorb is what you give out. You absorb that water like a sponge, you're going to give out water. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little bit dirty, but that's what you do. So, so that's one of the things I wanted to discuss. And another thing, too, I wanted to say, this was to my, what was it? Episode 3, I think, or 2. I did say I was pro-black, and I just want to clarify this for people who might or may have been offended. Pro-black doesn't necessarily mean you're like, anti-white or something like that. Pro-black means you just want your culture and your, ethnicity or whatever the case may be. You just want basically the African-American community to be uplifted and basically get on the right track and, just basically build themselves to, basically be, just because like I said in other podcasts, we went through so many things, as being, me personally as a black man. So it's being pro-black doesn't mean you're racist against white people. It just means you want your culture to be uplifted and to your community to be engaged into black excellence. So that's basically what that means. I don't want to offend anyone. Hope I didn't. So another thing, like I said, I want to talk about the future of this podcast and which route I'm going with my music towards the new year. So basically, I'm sorry, I'm pausing for a minute because I'm reading my notes. Talk about Friday and family. Oh, what? I'm saying anything. Let me stop reading these notes. Let me just go by how I had it planned. Anyways, so the future of this podcast, I'm trying to save up. I've been working so much overtime because I'm trying to get a camera. I've been looking at the Panasonic G7, and I've also been looking at the Sony A600, 6000, and they're both, I would say, inexpensive, but they're still expensive. Like, I mean, the G7 is roughly around 500. A6000 only on Black Friday is gonna be 600, and I'm like, bruh, I still got a Christmas shop. So, and it's like, I can't miss that opportunity. Like, that camera's never going to be that cheap. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, I think it goes for like $890, I think. But it comes with an extra kit lens. And so, you know what I'm saying? And it's a great camera, and I just don't want to miss that opportunity, because it's like, if I buy that camera, I would never have to buy a camera probably for the next 10 years, if that. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to try to get my funds right to get that camera. I've been working overtime, you know, even if I have to try to maybe I don't want to be irresponsible. I was going to say push back a bill, but I don't want to be irresponsible, because that's kind of like defeating the purpose of this podcast. It's kind of contradicting yourself, because I do want to eventually start to talk about finances, if it's this podcast or even a new podcast. But so eventually I want to get a camera so I can do visuals plus the audio recordings of the podcast. So I would have a setup in my studio with a camera. And what? Like, why is my monitor going to sleep? But yeah, I just want to have visuals with this podcast, so it won't be just a whole audio recording of 20 minutes, because I know people get bored of that. I've had people at work saying, like, dude, why don't you do something, like, spice it up a little bit, man. So we're going to spice it up by doing the visuals. So with that being said, I might have to take a break from this podcast. Does not mean I'm not going to, because I did guarantee and promise 10 episodes. So we're at episode 6. So I just might have to take a break until I get right, till I get the camera, and until I get it functioning how I would like. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's plans for right now with this podcast, is just to get back on my feet financially and try to invest into a camera so I can have visuals with plus the audio recording. So like, I maybe will start to upload it to maybe SoundCloud, but not my music SoundCloud. May have like a separate SoundCloud account. If not, then I'll just keep uploading them to YouTube. I do a visual and then an audio recording, so I'll have both if you would rather watch the video or to listen to the audio. Either way, you're still gonna hear the podcast, but just one video might just have an audio or a visual. So just for those visual learners. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to talk about. And then talk about how, basically how I invested into my studio a lot of money and time. And it kind of it kind of put me not necessarily in debt, but it kind of took me in a wrong direction. Ugh, tongue twister. Not even tongue twister. I'm just slurring my words. It kind of got me off track financially. So I was investing into just a lot of things. But I'm just trying to get my studio where it's like I don't never have to put a dime back into it. So that's what I want to do. Yeah, so financially, I'm not right where I want to be right now. My mother's calling me. Why are you calling me? Let me answer it. Hello?
You home?
Yeah, I'm doing my podcast.
Okay, bye-bye.
Why, what's up? Bruh. Alright, anyway, so I'm gonna end it off soon. But yeah, so I'm not sure when we'll get back into track of the podcast. If it's gonna be after November or after December. But just know that I'm gonna definitely have 10 episodes or more, depending on how far we go within this podcast. Yeah, and another thing I wanted to talk about is how family and friends, just basically keep you might want to not try to focus on family and friends when it comes to sharing your music and supporting, because it's just kind of discouraging. It's more discouraging than having random people not supporting you. So for example, like, I may have friends or family who don't share my music, like it or whatever, to support it. So like, I honestly think that hurts more than just getting lesser views on something I know my family and friends don't watch. So, like I was saying, it might be discouraging, because it's like, man, regardless if you like it or not, you should support it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, me, I'm the type of person, if I know a person that does something, and whether it's good or not, I still support and I still show love. I know that's a bad thing, but I still give advice. You know what I'm saying? I give advice while supporting. So, yeah, so it's good to always have, backup plans. So I personally think I had to learn this the hard way, to not really rely on your family and friends to share and support your music. So to be honest, you're better off just sharing and getting support outside of your family and friends. So, go up to random people like, yo, check this out, man. You know what I'm saying? I just dropped something. They might like it. So, yeah, and the notes say talk about Friday and family barely supporting music and how you got to share your music outside of your city. Yeah, so you want to just share outside of your city, dog. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter where you're from. Support outside your city, dog. So I'm going to support like maybe 315. That's either Buffalo or New York. I'm not sure. But yeah, man, do what you got to do to get heard, man. You know, so yeah, talk about finances, affect music, mind, and things of that nature. My notes are so funny when I go back to look at them. I'm a little stuffy. Okay, man, that's all the notes, man. So yeah, I really appreciate everyone who's watching and supporting this channel and supporting my podcast. Stay tuned, we'll have visuals soon. So you know what I'm saying? Keep sharing and liking and doing what you're doing, baby. You know what I'm saying? All right, thanks for listening to this podcast. This is your co-host, not your co-host. This is your host. My co-host is Adrian. I got to get that clear. So this is your host, Quentin Cooper. Some may know you as some may know me as Irate. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you watching, and everyone have a blessed day. Happy holidays, because there might not be a podcast up for Thanksgiving. So everyone have a blessed and safe Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of turkey. Eat a lot of baked mac and cheese. Enjoy your Black Friday, man. Get out there and shop. Don't spend too much money, because you know there's a bar by J. Cole, and that bar was so deep. And that bar, honestly, it made me not go Black Friday shopping that year. It was off of what's that? For Your Eyes Only. Honestly, I got time. You know what I'm saying? We got time on our side right now. You know, why would we end it when we can just spit J. Cole bars? For Your Eyes. Google, come on, dude. Gotta get off my crappy Wi-Fi. That's why. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is so bad. For your eyes only. Black Friday bar. Black Friday bar. Let's see what pops up. I forgot what song it was, man. Bruh, I have that album. What song was it? I might just... It's been so long since I listened to that album. Catch me, I'm falling in love for the first time. For you, I dropped that tough guy shit. You For Your Eyes Only. For you, I dropped it down. Track list. Maybe if I look at the track list out. I think it's She's Mine. I don't know if it's part 2 or part 1. Part 2 lyrics. I think it might be part 2, because I do. Hold on. Yeah, because the fed up with the wall. Oh, got it, bro. How? See, that's the grace of God, man. I already got it. But I opened up the lyrics and my eyes was just spot on it. Okay, so it says, because what he represents. Okay, hold on. Let's start from the Christmas bar. Let's wrap the whole thing. I hope I don't get copyrighted. So it says, handcuffs keep hugging the wrist of my N-words, because I don't want to get censored. Or, not censored. I don't want to be, whatever they call it. You know how YouTube does and other, services. And I wish stuff was different here. But if I had a magic wand to make the evil disappear, does that mean there would be no Santa Claus no more to give you Christmas cheer? Because what he represents is really greed and a need to purchase stuff from corporations that make a killing because they feed from the wallets of the poor who be knocking on your door every Black Friday just to get some stuff you can't afford. So going back to that bar, man, I didn't shop because of that song, you know what I'm saying, Black Friday. So yeah, so like I said, you know what I'm saying, be wise when you shop, also be wise about Christmas and Thanksgiving, man, you know what I'm saying, it's all about the family, the gifts, you know what I'm saying, that shouldn't even matter. So like I said, man, have a special Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying? Spend time with your family. If you don't normally spend time with your family, get out there and love your family, man. Also, too, you know what I'm saying? Get out there and give to the less fortunate. I'm actually going to try, not because I get paid bi-weekly, so I won't get paid to the day of Black Friday, which is that Friday. You know what I'm saying? So I might get out that weekend, because I normally get weekends off, and try to get like some care packages to go give to some homeless people. I'm not using this for publicity, because some people do that. You know what I'm saying? They be like videotaping and showing them giving people money and stuff. Like, that's not cool to me. I think you should do it without showing it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, like I said, thanks for watching this podcast, and I really appreciate your time. And have a great, blessed Thanksgiving, and enjoy your holidays. And we'll get back to y'all as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? So just stay tuned. I appreciate your time. Have a good one. Bye.